That's tomorrow. And that's tomorrow, and that is it. Again, 5, 4, 3. That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. And we will leave you with a. I can't do it. We'll do it live. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I can write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
Make sure my audio is good. Everything should be good to go. Look, I've got good levels going. Great. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. It is another Saturday, and I am live covering tech news. Sorry. Missed you guys last Saturday. Had some pre-engagements going on. Went to the shooting range. Had to, work on my skills a little bit, but that was all fun and dandy. But now I am back live covering the tech news for you guys. Again, if you're new to the show, this is where I cover news, events, and highlights from the past week in the world of tech news. Just giving you the rundown on what happened the past week. I try to just bring you the straight facts. I don't try to sugarcoat it. I don't try to sensationalize anything. I just give you the facts so that you make up your mind and decide how you want to feel about certain products, topics, or whatever. Got a number of things I want to talk to you about today. But as always, before I get into that, if you are new to this channel, please do me a huge favor. Do consider hitting that subscribe button, hit that like button. Also, if you have friends or family that enjoy this type of content, please make sure you share this with them as well, as I'm sure that they will enjoy this type of content as well. All right, let me get a swig of my tea. I got some matcha tea in my Grogu or Baby Yoda mug here. I am a fan of Baby Yoda. It's probably the only thing from Star Wars I really like right now. But that's another conversation for another day, another time. So in the meantime, let's show you what some things I want to go over this week. But before we do all that, make sure you head over to Twitter and check me out. I am on Twitter at sounds_nerdy. There I post tons of articles every day, covering tech news, even other news as well, like video game related news as well. But my channel is mainly focused on covering tech news. Also, I am very active on Gab as well. So if you are into like some of the alternative social media sites, Gab, I'm also very active on there as well. Enjoy the experience that I'm having over there on Gab. So if you're not on Gab, you can follow me on Gab at Sounds30 there, at Sounds30. On Twitter, it's Sounds_nerdy. Also, make sure you head over to the website, sounds30.com, where all the tech news, all the articles that I do cover are also posted on the website. There will be also linked down in the description for you to go over as well. All right, so let's go over what I'm going to be covering for you today. Some of the big topics first. iPhone 16. So we're getting some design things about the iPhone 16. We pretty much got some leaks about their cases. We know what they're going to look like. But we're also seeing that the iPhone may be running into some OLED panel production display issues going on right now. So we're going to go over that. Google, the Pixel 9. So we got leaks about that. Again, we know what that looks like. We also now got a video of it based on CAD drawings. So we're going to take a look at that and also go over what some of the designs and changes are. Also, we know about this huge leak that happened from AT&T, where 73 million AT&T accounts were leaked. And some of that information did include personal information such as SSN. So we're going to cover that as well as take a look at what AT&T's response was. Also, Roku. Roku is looking at a way to insert ads into every single device that is connected to your TV. Yes, we're talking about if you plug in your third-party devices such as an Apple TV or any other set-top boxes, Roku is trying to figure out a way to insert ads into those. Yes, I kid you not. And last but not least, we're going to talk about Snapdragon X Elite. We've been getting benchmarks about that, leaks about it, and so far this is looking like it is a real true competitor to AMD, Intel, and possibly even Apple's M2 and M3 chips. So we're going to cover all of that, all the big news we're going to cover for you today. But before we jump into all of the big news, let's take on some little smaller snacks real quick before we jump into that. So just real quick, first quick item here: Samsung overtakes Apple to become world's largest smartphone vendor. So Samsung has been the leader in the market worldwide for years now, and then Apple, I believe, in 2023 actually took that crown away from Samsung at one point, and now it looks like Samsung is back to take that back from Apple at this point. The article does go into more detail about how many units each of them sold, how Samsung was able to go back and take over that. So again, it will be down in the description if you want to go check out this article even further. I just wanted to bring that to you real quick. Next quick story: Apple's next big thing could be a home robot. So we know Apple had tried to jump into the EV car business. That was scrapped a couple of months ago. A huge project, I think a couple $1 billion or so, wasted down the tube. They actually laid off about 600 people recently. That was an article that came out this week. And it looks like a lot of those people that they kept around, they may be moving to a different project as well, which looks like Apple is looking to get into the home robot craze. So after the Apple car failed, they shifted those people over to that. And we know that all of the big companies, LG, Samsung, Amazon, they all are into the home robot phase. So it looks like Apple is going to obviously shift to that as well as everybody else is doing it. And I can't say it's really lucrative right now, but it is the next phase of the consumer electronics, is bringing home robots, to everybody. So obviously Apple wants a piece of that pie as well. So I have no idea when this is going to happen. I think it's just a rumor at this point, but that's what it looks like Apple is going to be doing. Of course, with Apple's new AI, they're going to jump into that. So that's going to be probably a huge part of the home robot. And the last quick story, right quick: iRobot launches a cheap robot vacuum that costs just $275. So now this is a combination of a mop and just your regular vacuum, all for just $275. Now you take a look at that. That's really cheap. Now they do have a different one. I think the iRobot Roomba Combo J9 Plus, that actually sells for $1,400. So for them to be able to come up with something like this is pretty remarkable. When we go over and take a look at it right here, again, it looks the same as all their other ones. I actually have the J3, I want to say, or the i3, which is just a vacuum. Love it. If I can get a mop and vacuum, that way I don't have to mop my floor anymore, this would be a good here. So it looks like here you just fill the tank right here with the water, and there's a pad on the bottom there. So this is a little bit different compared to some other models out there where they have a big base that has the dirty water and the clean water. Looks like they eliminated that and you just put the water in there, and then I'm assuming once you're done with the mopping, you just take that out, dump it, and then refill it with clean water for the next time you want to go out and have your robot do any vacuuming or mopping. So definitely something I'm interested in, so I'll be keeping my eyes on that. So that was some of the quick stories out of the way. Now let's dive into some of the bigger news. First up, let's talk about Apple and the iPhone right here. So OLED panel suppliers for iPhone 16 line are having problems thanks to thinner bezel design. So this is the story out of phonearena.com. So Apple is looking to make the bezels around their iPhone 16 a lot thinner than on their previous generation phones. Many of you out there who own iPhones know that they don't have necessarily the thinnest bezels when you compare it to somebody like a Samsung, where they have pretty thin bezels. So Apple is looking to up their design with that, but they look like they're going to be running into some issues. So let's take a look at this. So according to Elect, Apple is asking its iPhone 16 panel suppliers to make the bottom bezel, or some people could call it the chin, of the iPhone 16 models using BRS. But this is giving Apple panel suppliers a headache. Making the bottom bezel thinner will require the suppliers to work harder to hide some circuitry under the bezel. While the top and side iPhone bezels could be made thinner with no problems, shrinking the bottom bezel has been difficult because of issues with heat dissipation. So looks like they're having a problem making sure the heat doesn't, is concealed and stuck in that one spot. It looks like they can't really get rid of the heat. Because of this heat, why is that like that? I can't even read that. Oh, should I do this? Because of this heat generation, the wiring on the bottom of part of the panels would have to be bent downward, and other changes will have to be made. With these changes, none of the panel suppliers have been able to manufacture displays with a yield acceptable to Apple. LG Display is turning to two sources to obtain the important display driver IC chips that is needs for displays it is making for the iPhone 16 lineup. So LG is one. I think Samsung is another one. I don't know if they also do BOE as well, I believe. LG Display move is designed to cut costs as it creates competition between the two suppliers, which should reduce pricing. LG Display is gaining more business from Apple and is expected to receive 20% more revenue from its iPhone business year over year. So, excuse me. The LG looks like they're making pretty decent amount of money from Apple, and it looks like they're having problems. I think Samsung is also another one with that also supplies screens for the iPhone, but it looks like both of them are having issues with trying to actually meet the demands of Apple, trying to make that thinner, and that is. We don't know if that's going to delay the iPhone 16. At this point, we're expecting obviously them to come out with the iPhone 16 in September when they have their usual event to launch their new iPhone. But at this point, we don't know if it's going to be a delay, but we'll see. I'm sure they'll figure out something. But not only that, but we also know we have some leaks about what the iPhone 16 is going to look like. Again, the Story Out of Times guide. All 4 iPhone models just revealed a new leak. Let's take a look at the new design. You can see right here on my screen right here. This is the new design of all 4 of the models. You got your regular base 16, 16 Plus, your Pro, and then your Pro Max over here to the far right. New images posted on social media have given our best look yet at iPhone 16 series. A recent post on X by Sonny Dixon has revealed 4 dummy units for each of the next gen iPhone models, showing the redesigned camera bump on the new capture button in more detail. So that's one of the big things, is this new capture button that they're going to be doing. One major change is that the action button appears to be available on all devices, whereas it was only currently available on the iPhone 15 Pro and iPhone 15 Pro Max models. As you can see up there, there are reports that the iPhone 16 will have a 6.3-inch display and the Pro Max will have a 6.9-inch display. This means that the 16 Pro Max will be noticeably larger than its rivals, the Galaxy S24 Ultra and the OnePlus 12. So this phone is looking to be huge, massive. We're almost talking 7-inch displays. And so in that regard, if they were to continue with the same design as they had on the 15 and the 14 and make this phone 6.9 inches with their thicker bezels, that means this phone would be quite huge. So it is important and is in their best interest to try to make sure they can get those bezels shrunk down even more. Because like I said before, Apple's bezels are not the smallest. So if you're going to beef up to almost 7 inches and still have those thick bezels, yeah, you're in for a huge phone at this point. But we'll see what Apple actually ends up doing when this phone is probably unveiled in September. But I expect them to work it out. And again, they're going to be bigger than the Ultra, bigger than the OnePlus 12. So we'll see. So far, the iPhone 16 lineup appears to be playing it relatively safe regarding the hardware, and the physical differences between these and iPhone 15 models they will replace are relatively small. However, the big push for Apple's next device will likely be AI. Yeah, so that's the big thing that Apple is already doing. I think I just talked about it. I just revealed to it earlier. They just released their AI model ReALM, and the big push that they're going to do is AI, because they make that big push in there. So we expect the iPhone 16 with the new chip in there, the A18, is supposed to be able to have more AI capabilities, as well as iOS 18, which we'll probably see at WWDC, which is in June. So we'll see a lot more of Apple's AI capabilities coming down in the next couple of months. So the iPhone 16 will probably be the first device that will put all of that into one cohesive package. And Siri as well is going to get a big benefit from Apple's AI endeavors, because as we all know, Siri is showing its age. Siri is pretty much outdated. She has been lapsed by everybody else at this point, and Siri really needs AI and the iOS 18 in order for Siri to become even relevant at this point. All right, let's talk about the camera design, the design of the iPhone. And pretty much, like I said, they're relatively small incremental changes over the years. If you take a look at some of the iPhone 15, the camera bump is the same. The only thing is that the base models, the cameras are going to be more in a line instead of diagonal like this. But the Pro models, the camera bump will be the same as you can see here. Be the same design. So that's what we're expecting from the iPhone 16. But what do you guys think? Are you excited about the design? Do you need more from iPhone at this point? Need more changes? Or are these designs starting to get a little stale with what Apple is doing with their iPhone design? Let me know down in the comment section. As always, let me know down in the comment section. Just drop down in there and give me your thoughts and your ideas. All right, moving on. Let's talk about the Google Pixel 9. So we've been getting a lot of information about what the Google Pixel 9 may look like. We've gotten leaks. I think I did a video about that maybe a few weeks ago, talking about what the Pixel 9 is going to look like. There's changes with their camera bump, which I think they really need to do something with it. I don't like the camera bump on the Pixel 9 phones. Looks like the bump will still be there, but they're going to just change the curvature of it a little bit. But let's take a look at this. The Google Pixel 9 design gets shown in a video format. So I'm going to play that video for you as I go over this information right quick. So let's take a look at this video. Just so you can take a look at that while I talk about this. Yep. So this is the Google Pixel 9. Why is this not playing? Give 1 second. There you go. So let's just go over that. You can see here that as far as the colors that we're seeing here, this is not actually true to form. This is just the creator of this just throwing in his thoughts and ideas what the colors are going to be. But as far as what we know, let's just go over a little bit of the 9 real quick. Pop that out. Yeah, so we know that they're going to have 3 different models. They're going to have your base vanilla model, then you're going to have the Pro, you have the Pro XL model as well. So let's talk about some of those changes in there. So we've heard rumors that the 3 Pixel flagships are in the works for a fall release. In addition to a standard Pixel 9, Google is working on 2 different Pro model variants, the 9, the XL, and then the Pro, and then the XL version as well. Let's talk about what some of those changes are going to be. We've been getting rumors about the displays pretty much all over the place from different sizes, from 6.2, 6.9, whatever. We're just gonna talk about what we know. So the standard phone will have a standard 6.0 inch 3 screen, which is smaller than their current 6.2 inch on the Pixel 8. The 9 is expected to have a 6.1 inch display, and then obviously the largest model is expected to have a 6.7 inch display. So phones are pretty much looks like across the board. It may be smaller than the previous model, but maybe the XL may be probably the same size as the previous one. Now, in terms of brightness, we're expecting 2,000 nits for the base model, and then for the Pro model, we're going to look at probably 2,600 nits for that. So, and then obviously it's going to have the 120 hertz refresh rate for all 3 devices. Google's usually does a good job of for the most part in keeping some of its feature set consistent across all three of their different models. So we expect that to be the same here. We're gonna skip the cameras, batteries. We don't know too much about the battery sizes at this point. Prices, again, we don't know anything, but if we're expecting it to be pretty much in the same as what the previous devices were. Let's talk about some other stuff here. Both are alleged to have the Pixel 9 and the Pixel Pro, or the Pixel 9 and the Pixel 9 Pro. They look like they're pretty much the same as the previous generation, but with some slight changes. The edges for the camera bumps are a little bit more rounded. As before, they used to be just flat and it goes all the way to the edge. So they cut it off and then it's made it a little bit more round. So it makes it a little bit smaller, but it's still quite imposing there. So it's still pretty big. I'm not a fan of the camera bump, but let's continue here. Talking about the chipset we got here for it. So we're expected these to have obviously the new G4 system, the SoC chip for these, as the Pixel 8 had the G3. So obviously we're expecting them to bump up with the G4. It's supposed to have more RAM as well. So the Pro model will be the one that's going to get the most RAM, probably 12 gigabytes in the Pro model, the XL model, and then probably 8 gigabytes in the Pro model. So we will see. In terms of AI stuff, the G4 sensor will be powering that, and we're going to get all three models are going to probably have the same AI capabilities. But I think on the Pixel 8, I think their Pro model may have had a little bit more Pro features, but maybe they may continue that as well with the 9 as well. Obviously, Android 15 as well is going to come first to the Pixel 9 as well. So we're excited to see what Android 15 can do for Google and Android with that. But according to these renders, it looks pretty decent. The camera bump is a little bit. The camera itself is a little bit smaller in terms of the real estate that it takes on the phone. So we'll see what that looks like as we'll see what they can do. Yep. That's pretty much everything I want to talk about with the Google Pixel 9. Let me know what you guys think about that down in the comment section. Do you like the design of the phone so far? What do you want to see different from Google at this point when it comes to how they are designing the Pixel lineup at this point? All right, let's talk about AT&T for a second. So AT&T just had it didn't just have, this was something that happened years ago, and now they seem to just now be talking about it for some reason. Let's just go over the data from 73 million AT&T accounts leaked. What can you do to protect yourself? AT&T on Saturday, talking about this past Saturday, said that the data of 73 million current and former customers is on the dark web. The data, including social security numbers, appears to be from 2019 or earlier. AT&T said in a statement, and includes personal information from approximately 7.6 million current account holders and 65.4 million former customers. So huge swath of customers have had their data potentially compromised by this leak. The leak first came to light in 2021 when hackers claimed they've stolen customer data from AT&T and will put the information up for sale. Fast forward to today, the stolen customer data, which may include customer name, addresses, phone numbers, SSNs, and date of births, were discovered on the dark web. So over there on the dark web, if you want to go fire up your Tor browser and go hop on over there to the dark web, you may be able to find some information. In response, AT&T said he had contacted 7.6 million current customers and reset their password. So this is what AT&T sent out to the customers. They sent out an email. I remember seeing this email and reading it on Saturday. They just talked about what the approach was. Then it went on to say that they reset your passwords if you were AT&T customer. So as you know, and then they talk about monitoring your credit and going to get your free credit report.com, whatever. So I got this, and then first thing I did, because I currently subscribe to DirecTV, I went over to DirecTV, plugged in my information, and I was able to log into my DirecTV account. So it doesn't appear that they reset all of AT&T's umbrella, but I also then went and tried to go to my AT&T login, which uses the same login, and I wasn't able to log in with the AT&T but I was able to log into DirecTV. So I don't know if they just missed DirecTV or they didn't apply to DirecTV or what, but it looks like if you're using just your AT&T, then they may have reset your password, but DirecTV password was not reset. So that's a little weird. I'm not sure how they forgot that. It was the oversight by them because I definitely didn't reset my password, so I was still able to log in with my current one on AT&T. But if you are an AT&T customer, DirecTV customer, if you are concerned about that, then I would definitely pay attention to that. Also, they did give some advice about what you can do, or you can go check it and see. You don't have to wait for AT&T to contact you. However, using Have I Been Owned, you can check your data for yourself to see if your information or your password has been compromised. So if you go over to this tool right here, just really quick, I'm not going to put it in, but if you put in your email address and hit the enter button, then it'll show you what your email address and all the leaks that it's been a part of. But I'm sure anybody at this point who has an email address and uses any big company, I'm sure your email has been a compromise at this point. But I think the more important thing is to make sure you're paying attention to your credit report. If you have any suspicion that your account has been compromised, obviously the smart thing to do is to go change your password and find a new password or something a little bit more stronger. But you guys already know all that. I'm not going to bore you with that. But just wanted to let you guys know that this hack is out there. Just make sure you pay attention and see what is going on. So log into your accounts. Make sure everything is okay. But let me know what you guys think about this data breach and why did it take them so long to actually come out and acknowledge this and just do something about it. It's been, like I said, it's been 2021 that this happened. Some of the information came from 2019, but here we are in 2024. Then they just sent out this email this past Saturday acknowledging it and telling you what to do at this point. But not sure what took them so long, but I guess it's better late than never. So, all right, let's move over to Roku. So, the Roku is actually looking for a way to insert ads to your device. So, remember the days where you could just fire up your TV and you want to put on a movie or put on your console or actually fire up your TV and then there were no ads, right? Well, those days are long gone. You pretty much turn onto anything, there's going to be ads plastered everywhere. You flick the channel, power up your smart TV, bam, there's an ad right there, right in your face. There's an ad over here on the left side, ad on the right side, ads on the bottom. Roku is looking to even expand this even further by inserting ads into every single device that is connected to their Roku TVs. So we specifically talk about their Roku TVs at this point. So Roku looks into serving you ads on whatever you plug into its TVs. So let's go through this article. This is out of Engadget.com. Roku already serves ads to its platform, but it's also apparently exploring the idea of showing you ads while you're using third-party devices connected to its TVs. And this is based off a recent patent filing that the company is looking to develop a system or method for ad insertion by a display device coupled to a media device through HDMI connection. So you plug in your Apple TV, you plug in your Xbox, your PlayStations, your Chromecast, or your Amazon Fire Sticks. They're looking at a way to insert ads into you. So specifically, like if you push pause or you have an idle screen for a while, they're looking at technology to detect that, by using a pause signal or analyzing different frames. And then if you're on a pause screen or pause menu, then they're going to serve you ads right now. So I think if you have like cable right now or DirecTV or whatever, that's what happens right now. If you pause the screen, you walk away, 30 to 45 seconds, you got a whole bunch of ads starting to pop up. But that's just on your DirecTV. But again, Roku, all devices connected to it. If you pause it, bam, they're going to just start throwing ads right at you. Let me just continue. In particular, Roku is hoping to show you commercials while whatever you're watching or playing on a third-party device attached to it on pause. In this patent, it describes several methods on how it can detect whether the show or game on screen is paused, such as receiving a pause signal from the remote control, detecting a pause icon, looking at several video frames and determining that the image on the screen hasn't changed for some time, and getting a silent audio signal from the HDMI connection. So they are looking at doing this. So this is something that for me it will be is pretty annoying at this point. Like I said, turn on pretty much everything right now, especially your smart TVs. Ad is just thrown right in your face right from the start. You know, you're looking to switch apps, bam, there's the ad right there. Roku is like, we're gonna take this even further. But think about this. If Roku is successful in doing this, what do you think that's going to mean for the other manufacturers? Samsung, LG, TCL, Vizio, they're all going to do this as well. So just expect this. Once it's come down the pipeline and Roku is successful to get this out there, and if the other manufacturers can somehow develop their own little system on this, their own little twist on it, expect Samsung, LG, and all of them to do the same thing. So whatever device you have connected to these TVs in the future, you're going to get even more ads if you pause that screen or be idle for, depending on probably 30, 15 seconds or whatever. Bam, ads going to be right there in your face. Let me finish this up real quick. As Lopez notes, the company could have conjured the idea because manufacturers typically don't make a lot of money from hardware sales. For the fiscal year 2023, Roku lost $44 million on smart TVs. Similarly, Samsung's visual display and digital appliances division posted a $37 million loss for last year's fourth quarter. Meanwhile, ads and services generated $1.6 billion in profit for Roku. There you go right there. And of course, it's always about the money. And advertisers are always trying to sell you something, and they're willing to spend their money. And Roku's like, sure, we'll take it. We'll figure out a way to present people with even more ads, make it more annoying for you. So be on the lookout for that. I don't have a time frame for this, but I don't know. But I'm sure once this comes to fruition, we will hear more about it. And this is going to be very annoying. Just think about how this could be abused, or some of the glitches or the bugs that can, come from it. Say for instance, you're having a boss battle, or maybe you're, in a fight or something, playing a shooting game, and all of a sudden it just glitches for a minute and it starts showing you an ad. It just F's up your whole gaming experience at that point. Or you're watching a TV or a movie and the image on the screen just doesn't change for a little bit because it's just a stable scene or a stationary scene for a little bit. Bam, throw an ad at you, just shocks you out of the whole experience. I am not looking forward to this. This is not something that I am welcoming. I don't like this idea at all. I hope it never sees the light of day. But just the simple fact that this is out there right now, all the other manufacturers, Samsung, LG, Vizio, TCL, are already going to pick up on it and probably going to try to do the same thing. If it's successful for one company, as we've seen what Netflix is doing with their password crackdown, then everybody else is going to jump on board and do the same thing. So expect this to probably become a thing in the near future. But I will be annoyed by it. I don't even like the idea of it. But let me know what you guys think about it. I want to know what your thoughts are about this. I know you're probably in the same boat as me, thinking that this could get abused. This is annoying. You don't want to see that many ads on just your Xbox or your PlayStation. You just want to just enjoy your gaming experience without having this. But chime in down in the comment section and let me know what you guys think about this. All right, so don't like it. All right, let's move on to the last story real quick. All right, so I've covered this a couple of times, or talked about Snapdragon X Elite. Really excited about this chipset right here. Right now in the early goings, this chipset is looking to be very promising for Qualcomm. As in early benchmarks, it has been set to be on par or even surpass Intel, AMD, and even Apple's latest chipsets as well. So the Snapdragon X Elite has the promise to be a game changer for ARM-based PCs. So let's go over this. Snapdragon X Elite beats AMD and Intel flagship mobile CPUs in Geekbench 6 Qualcomm's new laptop chip leads in single and multi-core tests. Now, this is an article out of tomshardware.com. So let's go through this article real quick. Tech and Mall on Twitter shared performance figures for Qualcomm's new Snapdragon X Elite CPU and Geekbench 6. The ARM CPU's results are incredibly potent, performing on par with Intel's Core i7-13700HX, the Core i9-13900H, and AMD's latest Ryzen 9 8945HS mobile flagships. These numbers match real-world performance. Qualcomm's new ARM-based laptop chip will be able to perform on par with some of the best hardware from Intel and AMD have to offer today. Snapdragon X Elite scored 2,427 points in Geekbench's 6 single-core test and 14,000 points in its multi-bench test here. So you can see right here that in this little table right here, you got the CPUs in a single and multi-core test right here. It outperformed Intel and AMD at this point. The 2400 right there, and then the Intel Core 9 was at 2300. If you take a look at the multi-core, those are your more multi-threaded applications, more CPU intensive. It actually scored 14,000, while the Core i9 was at 10,591. So again, the Snapdragon X Elite is poised to be a very capable chip at this point. But let's just take a step back just for a little bit. Now you have to take this with a little bit of grain of salt. There's only one test. Geekbench 6, the Geekbench's tests could be a little bit, up and down, or as we've seen in the past. So take it with a little bit of grain of salt. But if these numbers are, at least in the realm of what it can actually do in the real world, then this could be a pretty good indication that Qualcomm has stumbled upon something with the Snapdragon X Elite chips right here. So we can see here just a little bit real quick. Qualcomm is targeting best-in-class multi-threaded performance with the Snapdragon X Elite. Unlike its previous laptop chip, Qualcomm is aiming to compete with the best laptop CPUs in the industry. Qualcomm has already revealed that its new chip is 60% more performant than the i7-13800H and it's twice as fast as Intel's i7-1355U and the i7-1360P, while sipping just a third of the power. That is huge right there. That it only has to consume a third of the power compared to what it did previously. So that is a huge get. So just imagine if you want to overclock it and throw some more power at it, what is this thing capable of in the real world? But we'll see again once that comes out. Again, take it with a grain of salt. This is one test. It's still early, but the results right now do look very promising. Real quick right here. Some of these results showcase the Snapdragon's real performance. Qualcomm has an incredibly potent chip on its hand. We already knew from the previous official coverage that the Snapdragon X Elite would be very fast with 12 Oryon cores, 42 megabytes of cache, and 4.3 gigahertz peak turbo performance. The Geekbench 6 results serve as additional confirmation that Qualcomm has reached its performance goals with the Snapdragon X Elite. So Qualcomm is doing this thing with this the Snapdragon X Elite chip right here, and really looking forward to this coming out. Again, we've seen Snapdragon also compete up against the Apple M2 chip at this point, and it did beat the M2 in both, I think, single and multi-core tests as well. So Qualcomm has something on their hands. Again, we'll see once this actually comes out how these numbers and these benchmarks actually hold up. But looks like this is going to be a very capable chip. So for ARM-based PCs coming out in probably later half of this year that are going to be rocking this Snapdragon X Elite chip, you might have something right here. You might have a winner on your hands. So hats off to Qualcomm if they can actually do this, put out something that will just knock the socks off of Intel, AMD, and Apple. Bam. That's something that we as PC geeks or looking for a PC out there or a laptop at this point. There's something that's really something to keep on your radar for you. But let me know what you guys think about that down in the comment section down below. What do you think? Do you think Snapdragon? Do you think Qualcomm can actually achieve this in the real world? Are you excited about that? And if they could come out with this and come out with those numbers, will you get one of these laptops that are featuring one of these Snapdragon X Elite chips? So just let me know down in the comment section down below. All right, and that is everything that I wanted to cover for you today. A very quick show. I just wanted to get back in here again. I missed last week, but I'm back. I'm glad to be back this week, serving you up some tech news again. Let me know what I can do better for you. Again, I'm trying to get better and better as I do this each and every week. Let me know how I can serve you better. Give me some feedback. I'm not above criticism. Am I exploring the topics that you are interested in? Am I giving you the coverage that you're looking for each week? Again, let me know down in the comment section. And, if you want to jump down in the comment section, you want to joke around, have some serious conversations, it's all fine with me. I am all for it. I like to have fun as well and joke around. So don't be afraid to jump down in that comment section. Just let me know what your thoughts are down below. All right. So before we get out of here, again, make sure if you're not following me on Twitter, make sure you go follow me on Twitter, sounds_nerdy. Again, not all of the news that I do or post about make it into video form. Everything will be found here. Not everything, but I post a lot of news on my Twitter timeline throughout the day. A bunch of articles, and same thing with Gab as well. So if you are on Gab, check me out there as well. If you want to stay up to date with the latest tech news, please head over to sounds30.com, where I curate and aggregate tech news from around the web, covering Apple, Samsung, Google, Android, computing, and even more general tech news, all at the website sounds30.com. All the articles that I went over today will be found at the website, as well as down in the description down below. And as always, guys, let me know what your thoughts are. What can I do to bring you better information? And again, just let me know. Drop down in the comment section. And guys, remember, every Saturday, 2 o'clock, live, right here, talking about tech news. If you have something you want me to talk about, you can send me this article, drop it down in the comment section. I'll take a look at it as well. And guys, as always, have fun, stay nerdy, and until next video, guys, stay nerdy.